We back. Them brothers from Inglewood podcast once again. I'm Hoopie. This is Charley Mack, my co-host, chopping it up once again in the studio. Looking forward to introducing this topic, but before I do, I want to throw it to Charley Mack and let him holler at you.
We in the building. Once again, we in the building. We're back to give it to y'all raw and uncut the way we do. This is what we do, and we do it weekly. And we try to give it to you weekly, and we try to give it to you raw and uncut. We ain't gonna hold no punches back here. This is kind of what we do. But before we start swinging, and we come out swinging, we don't own the rights to this music, you dig? We gonna let it groove to us. Like that right there?
Yes, sir.
So without further ado, guys, strap them seatbelts on tight. We about to get this car.
Yes, sir. Well said. Well said. Well, again, another great topic to chop up and discuss. But before we do, I want to say thanks to the Coalesce Group and to Fruit Off the Vine Clothing Apparel for allowing us to partner with you. Your brand is strong, and we look forward to a growing relationship. And for you that are viewing, we want you to like, subscribe, and share. Let someone know that we're on this platform and that we will be coming consistently, bi-weekly, with different subject matter. And so we just want to say thanks for following us. And today we're going to talk about toxic relationships.
Ooh.
And it varies, and we're going to get into some dialogue about it. And hopefully we can share some insight as to, what these situations are and what they look like. And so, I'm just going to throw it to you and see, how we can take it, from there.
When you use the word toxic relationships, that can mean many different facets of what a relationship is.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily mean toxic between, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife.
Okay.
It could be toxic relationships with co-workers. It could be toxic relationships with your supervisor.
Yeah.
Or, in that whole realm. So we're going to talk about the whole realm of what toxic relationships could be. And, for me, toxic relationships, they exist, man. I mean, they exist. And,
big time.
Yeah, and you have people who are functioning every single day of their lives in toxic relationships, knowing that they really shouldn't be in this sort of rapport with this person, but they continue for whatever reason to do so.
Yeah.
So, when you brought up the subject, I thought about, I'm like, that's a really, really good topic to talk about when you start talking about toxic relationships.
Yeah, because, I think people, they over-exaggerate the word without really understanding what it means. Anything toxic is harmful. It's poisonous. It has an unpleasant virtue, or reality to it, and it varies.
Yes.
It grows, and I think it has everything to do with character flaws. That inner core of a person.
Yeah.
Or a thing. A situation can be toxic.
Yeah.
Why? Because you have elements to that situation that makes it poisonous.
Yeah.
You might be dealing with a variety of bad characters. And so when I think of toxic relationships, I do think of marriages, relationships, whether they're platonic or romantic. I think of, these situations, for the most part, because this is where people usually struggle the most.
Yeah.
They can deal with a bad work relationship,
right,
because somebody's being compensated, right?
Right.
So we have a propensity to accept poor behavior when it comes to our careers, our work. But some careers, man, they're cutthroat.
So what would your definition be of a toxic relationship in terms of boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband, wife? What, if you had to think of one right off of your head, what would you think by that, what you would say, okay, yeah, that you guys are in a pretty toxic relationship.
Control,
Okay.
Unfairness. I think the emotional part of that relationship, whether it's a marriage or a boyfriend girlfriend, has a lot to do with the emotional and mental state of the other person, because sometimes it's such a powerful force coming against you consistently, and you're trying to hold on to your vow.
Right.
You're trying to hold on to your commitment because you care, but you don't feel good about it.
Right.
It's almost like that thing that you feel in your stomach, that gut feeling. Is like, this is just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so I would consider, not just the behavior in those relationships, but the mental and emotional damage or strain that you fall under.
Yeah.
I just think that relationships should remain human.
Yeah.
It should be a human element to it.
Yeah, and it's funny, because it reminds me of something. I remember dating this girl. Man, this is back when I was living up in IE.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not in IE, up in High Desert. And she had said she didn't know how to deal with our relationship because I was different than her previous two relationships, where she felt like if she wasn't getting choked out every week, the guy didn't love her. Yeah, she said that. She said she felt like
if he wasn't putting his hands
she
on her.
felt like with me, like we would get into little disagreements and stuff like that, and she felt like because I didn't lay hands on her. Seriously, dude. Seriously. She felt like if I wasn't going upside her head.
If you wasn't physical with her.
She was like, well, you don't even care. I said, what do you mean I don't care? She said, well, you don't even hit me. What do you mean I don't hit you? She said, well, my last two guys, they did this. And I said, well, you was in a different relationship than me. I don't.
You were in an abusive relationship.
I said, I don't hit women.
Right.
So if you looking for me to go upside your head, you might want to put your track shoes on.
Right.
But
what?
Yeah, dude, it blew me away. You got people who actually, and women in particularly, who feel like if this man ain't going upside their head, he don't care for it.
So that's a misinterpretation because of the culture that they have been exposed to.
A toxic culture.
Right. Some people think that that's normal.
That's what I'm saying.
To argue all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
To fuss,
Yeah.
to fight,
Yeah.
to throw things and break things.
Yeah.
Because they could have seen it in their own parents' relationship. They could have seen it in their, tribal community. That situation where you're in an environment where this is regular.
Hey, look, I really ain't gonna say no name on this one, but we both know two people, and they used to fight like boxers and dude and
Cats and dogs.
and they were in a long relationship, and these guys used to fight like they was in a fight like Mike Tyson and the opponent, and I mean they used to really fight, and they was in a 10-year relationship, and they even got kids, and I'm like, man.
So when you think about the conduct in these relationships, you must balance them against what we would consider as normal. You got normal and abnormal.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's no happy medium. People don't see what is normal versus
What's not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it goes back to opinion. But I don't think right and wrong is opinion.
Yeah.
Right and wrong is two different things.
Yeah.
And I think what happens, man, is in toxic relationships, we fail to communicate what we're willing to accept versus what we're going to give out.
Right.
And when you patch it and piece it up, you never fix it. There's no solution to it, and over time it gets worse.
It gets worse.
Like they say, pressure bursts pipes.
Yep.
It just does.
Yep.
And so I think we have to look at toxic relationships in a way to where we have to confront them and bring resolve.
Yep.
Can they be resolved?
Ooh.
Can a toxic relationship be fixed?
Yeah, if they both get away from each other.
Okay.
Because I mean, how can you fix that? How can you fix two broken people? Now, if one person was broken, or if one person had the issue, and possibly, but you have to understand something. That stuff is inherently in them. When you got somebody who is looking to get beat up, and the other person is looking to do the beating,
Counseling.
Can counseling fix that? You know, I'm not an expert, so I can't sit and say that it won't. But in my opinion, this is only my opinion, two people that's fighting each other to that capacity, when you start talking about being physical, I don't know if counseling can fix that.
Well, you definitely got to separate.
Yeah.
And then that way, each individual has to work on themselves.
Now, yeah, right.
I think first and foremost, if you mean it, you should apologize.
Right.
And admit, I got an issue.
No, I got a problem.
I got a problem.
Not
right?
an issue. I got a problem.
I got a problem, and I need help. We're not gonna help each other together. We need to go our separate ways.
Right.
And I need to get fixed. If you don't want to get fixed, that's fine,
Right.
because that lets me know that we won't be fixed.
Yeah.
So I think it can be resolved if we're willing.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's so embedded. It's such a tough thing to get out from under that you must separate so that you can see. Like with you, you were different. She didn't experience any man like you. Therefore, she thought like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
She thought like you had a problem because you didn't care about her.
Yeah.
And you like, no, this
Right.
is normal. You
This
don't
is- right.
hit women. You
Yeah.
don't abuse women. You
Yeah.
know, and you don't physically assault women, right? But I think sometimes, man, you gotta chalk it up and say, you know, I need to go to my neutral corner because this is not getting any better between me and you.
Yeah, but
we arguing.
yeah,
we fighting.
Yeah, and then and like I said, when you got two people who both have these problems, and this is what they both been doing, that's normal to them.
That's normalcy.
And I'm sure there's some people out here that's viewing who can say that, oh yeah, I got a girlfriend like that, or yeah, I got a homeboy like that, or you know, they can relate to it because they know people that's like that.
Yeah, I
knew people like that.
I was listening to a renowned speaker, Creflo Dollar, down in Atlanta one day. I just turned it on. He was on, and I heard him pretty much advising the audience, male and female. But the bottom line was, he said, listen, when you call yourself talking about getting married and being serious with someone and going to that next level, he said, there's way more than these questions I'm just going to ask you to ask, just basic questions. He's like, there's a lot more you should ask. He said, but these 10 questions
are the surface basic questions.
You need to ask this. Like basically, and I'm not going to go down the line, but basically he said, you need to ask this person, how do you get down when you get mad? Do you throw things?
Yeah.
Do you hit people?
That's legit.
Do you get in your car and run people over?
That's a legit question.
And it was funny, it was comical, but it was true. He was dead serious.
No, it's the real deal, man.
And then he said, you know, another question is, you know, how do you value money? Do you save it? Do you blow it? Do you hoard it? Do you share it? So I say that to say that I think a lot of times we get involved in toxic situations because we won't talk about it. We won't communicate.
But that's legit what you just said, because I never thought about that. That those are some questions that should be asked.
Normal questions
in a relationship.
What do you do when you get upset?
It's the truth, though.
When he said it was so simplistic but profound, because all of us process anger differently, Matt.
I know.
Some people throw tantrums. Some people they shout, they scream.
Yeah.
Some people get physical.
Yeah.
Some people abandon the sit. They leave. They just like, I'm out.
But it's funny because even asking those questions, is that person going to tell the truth?
Well, the bottom line is, if you're around them enough,
You'll be able
you
to
can
see,
discern.
You'll see some traits.
You're gonna see some core stuff, you know. And I think I can speak for myself. Every relationship I've been in, and I haven't been in a lot, but the few that I've been in, you can see the red flags. You can you may not know all the details at that time, but there are some core issues that you discover that you know you like.
Hey, let me ask you,
I don't care if it's one or two.
but let me ask you this. Okay, let's just say hypothetically that you've dated 20 women in your life.
Okay.
Out of those 20 women, was any of those women would they try to stand toe to toe and want to fight you?
Out of just the 20 women,
and we just thinking hypothetically. Just say you dated 20 women in your lifetime.
Oh.
Was there any one of those women who you can honestly say that this is the type of woman that you would have to put hands on and she want to fight?
At least 3 of them.
Really?
3 of them.
Really?
3 of them.
Really? 'Cause I think
That-
I've only
that-
dated one.
I think
Wow,
3
3?
of 3 of them. Yeah. Because
That would actually fight you.
well, they ran up on me. Two ran up on me.
Are you serious?
I had to literally
Really?
block a few punches,
Oh, wow,
defend myself.
wow.
2 of them. So I had a physical altercation with 2 of them.
Wow.
The other one, she had it in her. Oh yeah, I think she had it in her.
Well, but thinking and her showing is 2 different things.
Well,
did she ever show you? If she didn't, you can't. We can't put her in it because you thinking she got it in her. I've dated a lot of women. I'll be like, she got it in her,
Okay, but she got in my face.
Okay,
So
okay, well, she got it in her.
She approached.
Okay, yeah.
She approached She closed in that space.
Wow.
You got to give a man 2 feet.
I thought you was gonna say none.
Nah, man, 2.
I had one in my life.
You saw one. Come on. You saw one kicking. I'm at the light. They kicking and.
You right.
Yeah.
Oh, you right. I never. Yeah, I forgot.
So there's only been a few of those situations.
Okay.
But you can't take it lightly.
Right.
Because they may have reached their apex of anger and reacted. Well, man, all it takes is that one bad decision and your throat is sliced.
Yeah. Well, I said that because these are people, and I'm bringing this up, and I asked you that question because I wanted to follow up and say this. If I was that guy who fought women, me and this person probably would have either I would have killed her, she would have killed me. Wow. It was that bad. Like, she was a type of woman who would challenge you as she would challenge your manhood. We as men, we like to say to ourselves, we're men. And we like to
be
act
respected as men.
As men.
Yeah.
So when you have a woman who steps to you like she a dude, and you say to yourself, what is this? How do you handle that?
I think, and then you've had this dialogue, this communication, right? Over the years you've had communication
many times. Like
okay.
what? Like what's your problem?
That's
like really, what is you?
That's disrespect.
Yeah, what? You love that word. You go.
That's how
we
we
love that word.
That's
disrespect.
Disrespect,
disrespect?
loyalty. Yeah, man, that's disrespect.
Well, you know what?
That's disrespectful.
Well, I think the person just
not just as gender. It's just disrespect.
I think this person just has a lot of anger for whatever reason, and for her to want to project that in a violent way, and to present that to a man, something else is going on. Because any woman know, 9 times out of 10, you step to a man, you're gonna get your tail whooped. You can't whoop no man. So for you to even want to try, something's going on with you. Because Perfect example.
That's that dog in them, though.
Yeah, but okay, I got dog in me too.
You got that
But
dog
watch
in
this though. You got dog, I got dog. Mike Tyson come to the store talking crazy. What you gonna do? Oh, okay, Mike.
Well, you know,
I'll be like, oh, look, man, Mike, I ain't no punk.
no,
But I don't want no head up fade either.
it ain't gonna be head up.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm grabbing something.
But it ain't nothing to grab. So Mike,
There's gotta be something to
Mike,
grab.
I take this one, man, like you, but I ain't no punk. But I don't want no fade with you. But my thing is for a woman to step to a dude like, honey, you can't whoop me.
Yeah,
I
got you.
But if I was that other guy who was violent and who fought women, I'm telling you, dude, we would have been. It would have been bad. Long time ago, it would have been bad.
Wow.
Like broken. It would have been
right.
bad.
And see, these are the things that you can't ignore early on. When you see these signs, you have to look at it as, I can't put nothing past this person.
But sometimes the sign come too late.
Well, it does.
You with this
person.
person for 2, 3, 4 years. You guys done had a kid. You guys done whatever. Next thing you know, you like, damn, where'd this come from?
Yeah.
So sometimes the red flags don't show themselves and present themselves right away. Some people always say, well, then you got to look at the red. What if it ain't no red flags until 3 years in?
Well, it just depends on the individual. Because, you know, when I was dating, I used to always, one of my main things, Mac, was this. I used to try to get a woman out of her comfort zone, out of familiarity.
Okay.
And when I got her out of that comfort zone, whether it was a physical location or a emotional place,
Okay.
I would try to draw her out of that comfort zone to meet who she really was. See,
Interesting.
we always meet the representative first.
Man.
And then after so long, that rep starts to lose stuff in the inventory.
I get it.
They run out of inventory.
I get it.
So now you start to slowly see who you dealing with.
They exploit themselves slowly.
Yeah, because at the end, in other words, you can only fake it so long.
You're right.
You know, you got to go back and get some more
No,
inventory.
you're right,
You run
though.
out of makeup.
No, you're right.
You gotta, you know, whatever.
You're right. Even the dudes that's faking it till they make it.
Yeah.
After a while, you be like,
You get exposed.
be like, oh, this
Yeah,
dude was faking. I can't do
I
it no more. Yeah, you're right.
Taking this chick out 2 days a week, spending $200 at Ruth Chris. Pretty soon you gonna be like, man, I ain't got it.
I ain't got it.
Hey, and you know this for a fact. You knew people that used to borrow money just to take a chick out. Come on, big homie. Come on. We knew. Hey, we knew a couple of cats that borrow money just to take one out.
You killing me. Yeah, they'll come borrow one of my cars too.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, they got. Look, I had one of my buddies, man. I'm living in Beverly Hills. He got the chick thinking it's his spot.
See?
I'm like, come on.
Yeah, you
I ain't gonna say nothing
by while you sleep. Yeah, you know what? They doing something. So we can't go in, but that's where I live.
Oh, that's funny. Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. So I really, like you said, some are good at hiding it for quite a while, but eventually they get exposed.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times when people don't want to have the tough conversations, that's a red flag.
Oh yeah.
You're getting personal.
Yeah.
No, it is personal.
You getting personal.
I've been seeing you for 6 months, or I've been seeing you for a year. I need to know this. Yeah. You know.
What about toxic relationships on jobs with your supervisor? How do you deal with that?
I done seen dudes take off for their boss.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? This is a real conversation because you're right. This is how a lot of people go postal. It's that one guy or girl that's been harassed at the job, and then next thing you know, they can only take so much. But that's what but listen what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. That's what I told you when you asked me, well, can it be fixed? Can they go to counseling? These people got problems. Some of them problems are just more extreme than others. Yeah. But these are people with problems. To make someone go into the job, gun down the supervisor and everybody else that been mean to him, you know, I'm not saying it's right, but I get it.
Yeah. I
get it. When I hear certain things like that, road rage and other stuff, I get it. Because there's been times on the road where I said to myself, if I had a pistol, I'm telling you, there's some people that really, really will make you hurt them. And you have to check yourself sometimes.
Yeah, I know some people they get that road rage.
I'm telling you.
You know, a lot of times they just have a valid point of why they're upset, but I think to the extremity that they show, I wouldn't go there.
Well, some people, you have to understand, we all have it in us, this rage. Yeah. We all have it in us. Yeah. Some people, when they get it, they don't know how to pull back quick enough. Right. Some people don't know how to say, okay, let me get myself in check. You know, I've had 5 seconds or 15 seconds. I've chased this guy. Okay, let me calm down. Okay, let me back off. Some people, they don't know how to bring it back until it's too late.
Right.
And that's all. We all have it in us, but some people, they don't know how to come out and grab it and say, "Oh, let me, you know, before I end up in jail."
Because my boys, they've checked me a couple of times and said,
"You got road rage?
Huh?
You got road rage?
No, not at all.
Okay,
no,
okay.
But I've said something like, man, this lady don't know how to drive.
Okay. Oh yeah, you told me.
And they'll say,
Dad. Yeah.
Why are you saying that just because she's a lady?
Yeah.
There's men drivers too. I was like, oh, here we go. but that's that helped me because now I'm realizing that not only should I be more patient, but I should watch what I say around the kids because they're listening and they're thinking about just getting along with everybody.
Well, yeah, sometimes the kids can get you in check. You know, I mean, because of my daughter, you know, and she's the baby daughter. You know, I told her this year, or I was like, look, I'm done with politics. I'm just done with it. I got a bad taste in my mouth for politics. I'm not voting. I'm not doing this. And my daughter was like, Dad, you got to vote. And when she said that, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes the kids can get us in check.
Because we're teaching them, you know, a fundamental respect for the law and people. Right. We want them to be model citizens. They expect us to do what we teaching them, you know. And so, yeah, you're right. They brought me, you know, they dialed me down a few times. Even, man, there've been times, man, I had like somebody in a retail store or something, you know, it's like serious, dude? Like, you just gonna cut me? And they like, Dad. You know, and they realized, I was like, man, you lucky my kids.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. That right there.
They would help me, though.
See, that right there, I can't hold back. That rudeness, man. I'm telling you, I was in the store one day, man. It was an Asian guy, man. He kept walking like right. I said, he did it twice. Yeah. We was in the Lima Mall, and he walked right in between. And the second, I said, dude, don't you know how to say excuse me? And I don't want to. You got a lot of foreigners. Yeah. That's good for that. Yeah. You know, I mean, dude, say excuse me. You don't walk in front of somebody. Yeah. You know, even when I'm in a grocery store and let's say somebody's right here in the aisle and they're looking at what they're gonna get, and I walk by. Well, they looking to see what they're gonna get, and when I walk through them, I always say excuse me.
Me too.
I walk through and say excuse me. You know, I mean, it's about respect. Right. And it's about just showing some manners. Right. But a lot of people don't have manners.
They don't do that. Somebody did me like that last week in Chipotle.
Oof.
You know, just I'm first in line in front of the guy, and they just walked up and just walked by me and just was, yeah, we want this and that. And the guy was like, sir, what's your order?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he knew. He was like, yeah, that ain't cool.
That ain't cool.
But I didn't have to say anything.
So he said it for you.
He said it for
That's
me.
good.
And then he served me, and then I politely walked by them, and I said, excuse me, never acknowledged me. Never.
Damn.
2 females.
Wow.
You know. But, I mean, at the end of the day,
wow.
Yeah, toxic relationships are just what toxic means. Poisonous, damaging, unpleasant, you know,
not good
waste.
For you.
You know, it's compared to waste. You know,
it's not good for you.
It's just not good for you. And I think people talk about this on a regular basis, but they have a bias about it. Like sometimes women, they'll browbeat a man for some of the things that transpired in their relationship, and vice versa. A man will browbeat a woman. But I think collectively, we can look at the percentages, and we can also look at our experiences and say, well, this was my experience, and this couldn't have been cool. You know, how's this going to be cool when you standing all in my face yelling at me?
Man.
And you know, I used to, that yelling, and I think I really detested that from, Mom used to always yell, try to get our attention from the window, or so it was always like it was uncomfortable for me, but it didn't break my spirit.
Right.
But it seemed like the louder you would hear her yell, it would just kind of be like, does this lady hate me or what? But it was just
that distressful yell.
Right. It was just that, and so when I started experiencing that kind of stuff in my relationships, I was like, I ain't going for that.
Yeah,
I was like, you're not gonna yell at me. I don't if I'm not gonna allow a man to yell at me, I don't think I should allow a woman who's supposed to be feminine and soft and ladylike,
and then we put on a pedestal.
Yeah, fragile. Because the Bible, when the Bible talks about a woman being the weaker vessel, that Greek word relates to being fragile. So we are to handle them with care because but when they rise up on you like that, man, bro, sometimes, man, you can't do that to the wrong guy.
That's what I was telling you. If I would have been that guy that laid hands on women, and I ain't talking about the kind of hands that the pastor lay. I ain't talking about them hands.
You ain't talking about holy hands?
I ain't talking about them holy hands. If I was that guy, I'm telling you. So that's what I'm saying, man. You got guys that's not gonna go for that.
No.
Next thing you know, you're gonna have a black eye.
Right.
Or some disfigurement going on.
Right.
Because you got some guys out there that don't have a problem with putting them hands on a woman.
And we've seen that.
Yeah.
We've seen the result when they came back to work or school.
And it ain't cool. But
shiners.
You got some guys that will do it. So you got that woman, like the one out there, you're gonna run across the right one. Yeah. And that's what's gonna have to take her to say, whoa, let me check myself. Let me quit trying to run up on men or trying to challenge a man and fight him because this dude whooped my butt. So now I know the next guy might work. And that's what certain people, sometimes, listen, I hate to say it, sometimes people got to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
Some people can't learn by you telling them. Sometimes you got to
show them.
Like little kids, when you tell them, okay, don't put, it's hot.
Yeah, don't touch
That's hot.
Yeah.
They go over there one day, they'll never touch it again.
Right. So you did make it clear that toxic relationships are pretty much unsalvageable, right? I mean, in your opinion.
In my opinion, I don't think they can be saved. I mean, because there's too much hard work there. Like you said, let's take this person, put them over here. Let's take this person, put them over here, and let's try to get them some help.
Yeah.
It's in them, man. It's just in them to be who they are, especially at a certain age. Now, if these were little kids, they had a problem with putting their hands on each other, they're 8, 9 years old, you might be able to fix that. Yeah. But when you're talking about two adults, 35, 40, 45 years, 50 years old, and they still doing that can't be fixed, man.
What about...
in my opinion.
Right. What about the recognition part? And then I'll give it to you and let you close it out. How do you recognize what is toxic versus what is healthy? Because that's what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Toxic,
right.
Health, wholeness, brokenness. So how do you recognize that this situation is toxic or even the person is toxic?
I don't think two toxic people I don't think that two toxic people understand that their behavior is not the norm.
I got you.
I think for them, that's their norm.
I got you.
It's almost like being in a relationship with someone, and some people are polygamous, some people are bisexual, whatever.
Yeah.
Because they're bisexual, that works for them. Yeah. That's not going to work for me or you or whoever else. Polygamy. I was watching something, The Red Table, and now Jada Pinkett Smith's daughter, she's a polygamist now.
Right. Yeah.
And Jada Pinkett was like, roll with it.
Right.
But the grandma was like, I ain't with that.
I ain't with it.
So, because that may work.
3 different generations, too.
Because that may work for someone else, it may not work for you. So
because grandma said, I've been married 4 times,
and, she
and
said,
I'm still with the traditional
but
man and woman.
Yeah, so those 2 toxic people, that may work for them. And then once they jump into a relationship with a dude that he's like, whoa, what is all this? What's all this hostility? I don't do this. They like, well, dude, who are you? You a punk? You ain't putting hands on me?
Right.
I'm used to getting choked till I pass out every week. I'm telling you. So I don't know. It's for them. This is their norm.
Like Kizzy, is that her name on The Color Purple? What's her
no, it's
Celie.
not. Celie.
Like Celie told Oprah Winfrey. No, he told Oprah Winfrey's husband. Beat her. And she was getting beat most of her life.
And she got used to that.
She was like,
that was her norm.
That's how you know.
The dude coming home, Glover, his character coming home, whooping on her, beating on her, slapping her up. After a while, she's like, okay, this is normal.
She put hands on Harpo.
Yeah. She
was like,
Oprah's like, you told Harpo to beat me.
Wow.
No, I kill him dead.
Yeah.
I kill him dead before my daddy beat me, my uncle. Yeah, she wasn't going for it.
Right.
But for some people, that's normal, man.
Man, again, you know, we got to tackle this one again.
Yes, sir.
I can't wait till we bring in the females.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, we might kill it with 2 sets. We'll bring them in and we'll do that one, and then we'll do this one as well. And then that way
I think so, because it would be interesting to hear their perspective.
Yeah.
But another profound explanation that you gave on this topic. Thank you for viewing and sharing with us. Like, subscribe, and share the content. You know, we look forward to bringing you different subjects and having dialogue, allowing us this time and space to come into your room, your living room, wherever you are viewing.
Your car.
We just say thank you. And again, thanks to the Coalesce Group, Fruit Off the Vine Clothing Apparel, for allowing us to tag your brand. And thank you for the great support. I'm going to throw it to Charlie Mack. Let him close us out.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Keep on watching. It's a slow burn, but we're going to keep it burning.
Yeah.
And, we're going to keep on bringing the good content every week, the best we know how.
Yes, sir.
I think that's what we do. Take the seatbelts off. Peace and love.
Peace.